Hello and welcome to Tarot with Honey. Thank you for joining me today on another deck review. I'm so excited to bring another deck review to you guys so that you can have an idea of what is in the deck before you decide to purchase it. And just kind of get an insight to whether or not the deck speaks to you before you decide to use it for personal use or for your tarot or oracle readings. So today we have Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards, and it's a 55 card deck. We will be going through all of the cards, so you'll be able to see the beautiful illustrations and just see if you connect with it. So let's see. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can see more videos like this, and it also supports the channel. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it. Click on that little thumbs up and support the channel by liking it. So if you have tuned into other readings or other reviews that I've done, you know that I have a little system or like a check off process that I use for rating these decks or reviewing these decks. And I find that that process works really well for kind of making an assessment if this is something for you or not. So the first thing that I like to go off of is the card quality. But before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about this beautiful box. I feel like I always love talking about boxes. This box is actually very cute, very nice, very supportive, very sturdy. So I definitely like the box. And then of course it comes with a book, a guidebook. So it walks through explaining all of the cards according to the creator of this deck. But definitely, you know, you can feel free to use your own intuition and listen to spirit as you're reading, as you're having your readings. All right. So there's that. I'm going to put this off to the side, but make sure that you can still see it. Very beautiful artwork there. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But the first thing we're going to start off with is the card quality and size. So if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I have a thing with shuffling. So I have a thing with shuffling decks. I've never been good at it. In fact, let me move this over a little bit. I know you guys are gonna have fun watching this. So there we go. So some decks are just easier to shuffle than others. If you feel me, put it in the comments. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Probably not, but we're just gonna, you know. So this one is really not hard to shuffle. Does that make or break whether or not you should purchase a deck? Absolutely not. I'm just very picky on cards. This particular set, I really, really love the size. And I love the card stock or the quality. I think that the thickness is just right. Like it's just right. So 55 cards in this deck, and the thickness is really great as you're shuffling. It doesn't really bend the cards. So they're using a really nice quality for that. And then the print quality, which I always like to, another criteria is the print quality and the imagery or the art. I like to kind of put those together. I think it's actually quite beautiful. The colors are very rich and vibrant. And the actual artwork, I believe, speaks to, it could speak to you. It could promote inspiration, calling on certain energies for your reading. One thing that we can note here is that when you are doing readings, depending on how you like to read, some people read in reverse or read upright. But just a quick note, if you're one who doesn't like to read in reverse, this is a note that this card is in reverse. So some decks will show you that. Some decks are like the same figure on either side. So when you pull them, you don't really know where it's falling, if it's falling in reverse or not. But for this particular one, you will see if it's facing down, then this is going to be in reverse. So just kind of a heads up on that. But yeah, so let's kind of just flip through the artwork. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Very rich, very vibrant. There's a lot of symbolism in this deck. So if you have studied ancient civilizations or variety of plants and colors and symbolism, and you know what those represent, then I think that this deck would be such a great value. Even certain things regarding astrology, if you study that, I think that this deck would be of great value to you. But again, if you have not, then the images themselves are just so rich and beautiful and vibrant. I am very confident that you will be able to be inspired by the messages that are within this beautiful deck. Trying to get out of the way so you can see how vibrant these colors are, how inclusive the deck is, if that's something that you really connect with. Symbolisms with animals, nature. Very beautiful deck. So we're just flipping through. And as we're flipping through, just looking at the imagery and the color, I think that the artist for this deck was this is actually one of my favorite cards in the deck. I could just go to sleep and see this. It's just so beautiful. The stars and the galaxies and the constellations, just so rich, beautiful. And then we have some pyramids here, which is great. So it feels like it's paying an homage to the ancient Egyptians and how they really contributed to the information that we have today on astrology. Quite beautiful. Let's see. Another thing that I like to rate or kind of have as a criteria for the cards are the word descriptions. And one thing that I've noticed in a lot of decks is that the richer the artwork and the more robust and descriptive the artwork is, and the more symbolism that's hidden within, typically there's less words. So this deck is right in alignment with that, in that it is very descriptive in its artwork, and therefore the words are very limited, or maybe that's not even the right word. It's very it's not a lot of words, and it's not a lot of words because they're trying to limit anything, if you will. But I think that the artwork speaks so much for itself that you don't really need to kind of add more explanation. And then it also leaves a lot to interpretation as far as intuitively reading, which I think is really fun. I think it's liberating, and each deck has its own place as far as what you're gonna receive and feel in those moments. So these decks, this particular deck, Angels and Ancestors, does not fall short in that. I love it. So yeah, we're just kind of going through, seeing all of the beautiful symbolism, really connecting, seeing if this speaks with you. I remember when I first got this deck, I was so surprised. I didn't know what I was gonna get because sometimes online you don't really see, you know, like the full deck when you're purchasing it, so you don't really know. And I remember feeling pleasantly surprised at the language that's used in this deck when you're doing pulls, and also the vibrancy of the deck. I really felt that when I'm doing a reading, it could invoke and has invoked just a rich, what is the word that I'm looking for? You really connect with the spirit. I think that's what I'm trying to say, in a nutshell. You really connect with spirit. It's so beautiful how you can see one thing on a deck, on a card now, and then in the reading, you'll see something completely different as the reading progresses or as it relates to the person that you're reading for. And I feel like this deck really has a great energy to it, and is very fluid when you're reading for other people. You know, like I was saying, you'll see one thing now, and then as you're reading for other people, you'll see other messages throughout the card. And I think that that's really fun. I think that it's, you know, intuitive. I think that you can connect. So let's see. The price of this deck, which is the next area of kind of rating the deck, if you will. I'm just checking. I believe when I bought the deck, it was like $21.99 or something like that. Well, right now in 2024, the deck is going for $18.45. And would I say this deck is worth $18.45 along with the beautiful case and the guidebook? I would say absolutely yes. I think it's right on par with, you know, the average deck price at this point, minus a few dollars. So you're really saving a few dollars when it comes to this deck. If you look on Amazon, it is actually over 10,000 5-star reviews. So this is a very, very loved and beloved deck. And so, yeah, if I'm gonna rate this deck, I would rate it a 5 out of 5. The reason being is because the card quality is absolutely, the quality is there. It's a very well, very sturdy card, well-made card. It's not flimsy. When you're shuffling, you're not gonna bend it or break it or anything like that. There is a protective coating on it, but it's so smooth, you can barely see it. I can only see it when I'm rubbing my nail through it. The print quality is absolutely divine, very clear. Imagery, artwork is just stunning. Leaves the energy flowing for interpretation as you're doing your readings. And then the word descriptions are very appropriate for this particular card. I don't think they added too many words or too little words based on the artwork. And then the cost, I think the cost is right on par. So if I'm gonna give this a rating, it would absolutely be 5 out of 5. So I think that this deck is a deck that you would definitely consider. So yeah, go check it out. I'm gonna leave the link for this particular deck in the description below. If you're interested, just scroll down to the description below and check out deck link, and then you'll be directed to this specific deck so that you don't have to kind of scurry around writing words, trying to figure out, is it the right one? I put it right there for you. Thanks so much for watching today's deck review with Tarot with Honey. If you have not subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button. And if you're here still watching, don't forget to like and support the channel. If you have this deck, I would love to know your thoughts. Like I said, on Amazon, there are over 10,000 5-star reviews. Over 10,000. So this is a beloved deck. If you have this deck, please let me know what your experience has been. I would love to know, you know, how you're connecting with it, how it's spoken to you over the time that you've had the deck. And I will hear from you guys soon. Until the next video, have a great day.